Hello, my name is John F. Timianis. All over the world, there are multi-million-dollar solar installations being built. The players, investors, utility companies, governments, they want to ensure that they get a good return on investment. Now, the hardware has a limited lifespan, so to make sure that things go well, they have a preventive maintenance plan in place. So they pick up on any problems that may come along. Well, I happen to think that the same thing should exist for residential systems. The homeowner puts out 10, 15, 25,000 even plus dollars. And they want to ensure that they not only have a good return on investment, but that any problem that might be lingering in the background can be identified and corrected, certainly within the time frame of the warranty. So to that end, I thought it might be interesting to take a look at a system that's 4 years old and to see whether or not there's any problems that might be there. Okay, here we go. Preventive maintenance for residential PV system. So here's the system composed of 23 modules, 280 watts apiece. That's 6.4 K. It has 3 unobstructed views, so shading is not an issue. The night before there was a rainstorm, so I'm taking this around 12:30 in the afternoon, and everything is clean and dry. The conditions are ideal, 33 degrees centigrade on the temperature, cloud cover scattered, 1.4 meters per second wind, that's about 3 miles per hour, and it was shot at a distance of 20 meters. The sensor was a Flare View Pro R 640 by 512 and an emissivity of 0.88. I got myself up on the roof with a pyranometer, and as you can see with each of the different directions, we easily meet the minimum of 650 watts per meter square. Okay, so here are 3 views. I took some sample measurements of different modules, and the temperatures were all basically the same. There was no evidence of any kind of cell involvement, partial or full. No thermogram that indicates any kind of string involvement as well. So nothing remarkable there. Let's go indoors, take a look at the inverter. Those are the parameters from which it was measured. And right away you can see that for this Sunny Boy SMA 70, there is a hot spot. That may or may not be significant, but you would kind of expect to see some increased temperature given the kind of work that it does. Hotspot is again on the left lateral view. There's a picture also of the switch, turn off the DC going to the inverter. What is of interest is the right lateral view. That dark spot on the bottom is actually the cooling fan. And you would expect it to be warm from use, but it wasn't in use, and it didn't go on in use for the rest of the day or any other day that was reported. So there may be an issue with the sensor and or the fan, just something to note. So the one breaker switch is at the bottom right for this system, and right away you can see that we do indeed have a hotspot. Top temperature of 50 degrees centigrade. No other breaker to compare it to, but to the ambient temperature of 32 degrees means a difference of 18 degrees centigrade. That would be a NETA of a grade 3. And note the conductors also generating heat, or at least the heat transferring through the conductors. So that's of note as well. Now, taking a lateral view of the conductor going into the insertion of the breaker switch, the temperature is much greater. At this point, it goes to 58 degrees, and again, an ambient temperature of 32. We're looking at a difference of 26 degrees centigrade. So now we're looking at a grade 2, according to the NETA guidelines. May or may not be significant, but something to make note. All right, so in conclusion, thermography is certainly indicated as a means of quality assurance and periodic maintenance for residential PV systems. So in addition to the modules, the scope of the exam should also include junction box, inverter, and breaker switches as well. The homeowner, and this is I think the important part, the homeowner has to be proactive to ensure that the installation company is including thermographic inspections as part of their contractual arrangement. All too often we have, especially now going on with this feeding frenzy of solar systems being installed, reputable and maybe not so reputable companies getting you online and getting you juice, and that's fine and great, and then walking away and you have no idea if your system is operating as it should. So I think it's very important that they stand behind their work, and the best way to do that is to put a preventive maintenance program where the person will come back every 1 or 2 years and take a look at the system and make sure that it's operating as it should. All right, well, thank you for watching.